everyone, this is Sarah, thehealthyhomeeconomist.com, and what I'm going to show you in this video is how to make pate, chicken liver pate. And this recipe in particular is for those of you who may have never had liver before, never thought maybe you even would want to ever try liver or would even like liver perhaps. I must admit that I myself don't really care for beef liver very much. It's quite strong tasting. Some people really enjoy it. No one in my family really does. But it's important to find some type of liver that you enjoy. And just because you don't enjoy the strong taste of beef liver doesn't mean that there are other types of liver that you wouldn't like either. So I would recommend to try some other recipes, and in particular pate seems to me to be the most tasty way to get your liver. And why do you want to eat liver briefly? Well, liver is considered a sacred food in many traditional cultures around the world. If you look at, say, an animal, say a tiger that has just killed a deer, for example, the very first organ that the tiger will eat is the liver. The liver has the most nutrition in it. It has the vitamin A, it has the vitamin D, it has the cholesterol. Not the kind of cholesterol that's going to clog up your arteries, the kind of cholesterol that your body needs to repair all the damage that's done either from inflammation or stress or any other damage that your tissues may endure in the stresses of daily life. This is the kind of cholesterol that's also in egg yolks, and for years was demonized by the popular media and also by the medical doctors, but has been exonerated. The cholesterol in eggs is very safe to eat, and there's a number of articles out there on the internet. If you Google eggs, you can find all these wonderful studies that say, oh, sorry, we were wrong, the cholesterol in eggs is just fine. It's the oxidized cholesterol that you need to stay away from, and that's the cholesterol that's in processed foods. It's the cholesterol that they add to skim milk to give it body, the skim milk powder. That's the oxidized cholesterol. The cholesterol in liver is very good for you, and it's very important to get this type of food into children in particular. And you think, well, how in the world am I going to get liver into my child? Well, think about those meat spreads that they have in the supermarket. For example, the deviled ham spreads, I think from Underwood, I believe is the company. There's several types of meat spreads that you can spread on a piece of bread and make a sandwich out of. I know when I was a kid, I loved these things. Unfortunately, they're loaded with MSG, and those are not the kind of meat spreads that you actually want your children to be eating. You can actually make a liver pate, and that's what I'm going to show you today, to make into a sandwich spread for your kids that is very delicious, that they will very much enjoy, and you'll feel good about serving to them. So let's talk about chicken liver. It's a much milder tasting liver than beef liver. Duck liver is fantastic too. I actually prefer duck liver and duck pate to chicken pate, but duck liver is just harder to get. So for those of you who are just starting out in your endeavors with liver in the kitchen, chicken liver would probably be the best way to go. The chicken liver that I get, I don't actually buy my liver separately. You can probably find a local pastured farm in your area that can sell you liver. What I do is I just buy the whole chicken from my local poultry farmer, and then I just, of course it comes with the liver. The chickens at the store, even the organic ones, don't come with the liver, but if you buy them from a local farm, you will get all the parts with your chicken, so you'll be able to get your livers as well. So for the recipe I'm going to show you today, this is actually 3 chicken livers from 3 chickens, whole chickens that I actually purchased from my poultry farmer, and you can do it that way if you want. And so I tend to make pate in quite small batches. I make it with 3 livers at a time rather than buying a whole bunch of livers and making a lot. But you can make a lot if you'd like and freeze it if that works better for you. But for today, I'm just going to make a little bit of pate, probably enough to fill this bowl, which will be a great sandwich spread for kids. Okay. Now what we're going to do is, the first thing we need to do is chop a half an onion, and I've already done that here. I figure you guys know how to chop onions. I don't have to show you how to do that. So I've chopped a half an onion. You can either use a white onion or a Spanish onion. I also have 1 clove of minced garlic here. I also have salt and pepper, which we're going to use at the end, salt and pepper to taste. I have a little sherry. You can use either sherry or brandy in this particular recipe. And I have a tablespoon of dried cilantro. You can either use dried cilantro or dried parsley. I prefer cilantro for this particular recipe. I also have 1 full cup of chopped bacon, chopped grass-fed bacon. So what we're going to do is when we make this pate, we're going to put the bacon in there too, and that's why I say this is kind of a beginner pate. It's going to cover the liver flavor quite a bit, and maybe you can ease into it over time and increase the amount of liver and decrease the amount of bacon into it that you use over time, and kind of come to a blending of the flavors that suits you. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to melt a 1/4 cup of butter in this pan, and then we are going to put our chicken livers in there and saute them. At the same time, we are going to turn the burner on to medium to high, and we're going to put our bacon in there. Oops. We're going to put our bacon in here, like so. And we're going to get that cooking, and once the fat starts coming out of the bacon, then we will add the garlic and the onion, and we're going to cook all this separately, and then we're going to cook the chicken livers separately. When I've got this going and it's almost finished, I'll pick it back up and show you where we're at. We're back with beginner pate, and let me show you what the onion and the bacon looks like, as well as the grass-fed chicken liver. Our bacon, crumbled bacon and onions are now sauteed beautifully, so I'm going to turn off the oven here and move it over here. I also want to show you the chicken livers that I sauteed in the butter. Notice I'm leaving them just a little bit pink in the middle. I'm not cooking them completely through, okay? So the next step is to take this butter, and you keep all the butter, don't drain it out. We're going to put the chicken livers in a bowl here. We are also going to take the bacon and onion and mix it in with the chicken livers. Okay. And we are going to mix these together, all right? Just going to mix them together. Get these. So we're going to mix these together and get these flavors blending is the idea. Then we are going to take our cilantro and sprinkle that in. Also going to take, if I can get this open, 1/2 tablespoon of sherry and pour that in. Now that I've added the sherry, and I'm just going to let these flavors blend here in the bowl here and cool down for about 10 minutes before I blend them into a sandwich spread, a pate sandwich spread. So we're going to take a break here. I'm just going to leave this for about 10 minutes and just let it cool down. Okay, everything is cooled down in the bowl now. It's not too hot, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in the food processor. And we're going to blend this into a nice, very smooth meat spread. And it's definitely pate, but if you think the word pate might dissuade anyone in your family from eating it, then just don't call it pate. Call it a meat spread or a sandwich spread or whatever you would like to call it. Okay, so I'm going to blend this up. Okay, then we're going to taste it. It is really good. You guys are going to love this. Okay, so you add a little bit of salt. Could use a little salt. Maybe a little pepper too. Okay. Blend it up a little bit more. And we are going to transfer it. Transfer it to a glass container. Oops, we're going to chill it in the refrigerator is what we're going to do. So take this. We now have a wonderful sandwich spread that we can make sandwiches with for our children's lunches. It's great on toast for breakfast. It's great on crackers, however you want to serve your pate. But this is delicious. You are going to love this. And if you've never had liver before, I recommend that you start with something like this, where the bacon helps to cover the liver flavor. Chicken liver is a very mild tasting liver as well. Don't jump in with both feet and try the beef liver, because it is quite strong if you've never tried it before. But incorporate liver into your diet. By the way, liver is a fantastic fertility food. Any of you out there are wanting to be parents or have more children and having a little trouble in this area, liver is a sacred food to many traditional cultures, and couples that were trying to conceive were fed lots of liver. So go ahead and make your first batch of pate. I hope you enjoy this recipe. Once you've made it, you're going to cover it up and refrigerate it for an hour or two to let it kind of solidify in the refrigerator, and then you'll be able to take it right out with a knife and spread it on toast or crackers. This is Sarah, the Healthy Home Economist, and I'm wishing you all the best in the kitchen.